Hi, my name's Dave and I will be your lecturer for the next 4 weeks. So, as part of the workshop today, we will be looking at the different ways that you can collect insects. So there are a whole lot of different ways that you can collect insects. However, there are certain ways that make it easier to assess systematic sampling programs. Some of these include pitfall trapping, yellow sticky trapping, and sweep netting. So we will be actually running through a demonstration on how to do pitfall trapping and yellow sticky trap sampling. So in this week's workshop, we will look at an overview of the major insect collection techniques. There are basically 2 major collecting approaches to sampling insects: active collecting and passive. So today we will be looking at 2 different types of sampling techniques, one being active and one being passive. As you might guess, active sampling is when you will go out and actively search for insects, whereas passive sampling is when you might put traps out, leave them there and come back at a later time and see what has been trapped. So in this workshop I have prepared a video demonstrating how to set up a pitfall trap as well as a yellow sticky trap. Both techniques are relatively easy and anyone can really do it. So the most suitable method used in any particular situation will always be dependent on the aims of the collector and the types of insects that are being targeted. For instance, if your target species is a ground-dwelling beetle, you probably wouldn't be putting yellow sticky traps out, but you would be more inclined to use pitfall traps. So moving on, we will now look at how to install a pitfall trap. So let's get started. So depending on where you are, it's really important to assess the surrounding area, the vegetation, the crop. In this case, it's just a park. So to put out pitfalls, it's relatively easy. You don't need a lot of equipment. We basically need a shovel to dig a hole, a notebook to take some notes, a marker pen so that you can put site information down. We need a preservative. In this case I've used coolant, just that you can buy from a car shop, and some grease or oil that will go into the pitfall traps, and of course your pitfall traps and protective gloves. So today I will be showing you how to set up a pitfall trap with nothing more than the use of 2 plastic cups. That's all you need. But basically you need 1 cup that will be put into the ground and will act as a sheath, with a 2nd cup put into the 1st cup to act as your pitfall trap. So there's nothing more to it, just 2 cups, one goes in the other, and that's pretty much it. So now we will just run through how to put your pitfall trap into the ground. Work out where you'd like to put your trap, and then really it's just a matter of digging a hole for where your trap is going to go. So that's pretty much it. So let's watch. So once you have your hole dug, it's a matter of putting your first cup into the ground where you would like to have it. It's then just a matter of putting soil back around that first cup to make sure it's level with the ground as much as possible. You really want to get that first cup level, if not a little bit below the surface, because you will be having that second cup come in. So you don't want it too high. So you want to make sure you actually spend a bit of time here getting it right, because they're going to be left out for 1 or more weeks. Yeah. So once you're happy with how your first cup has gone in, then really it's a matter of just putting the second cup into the ground, into the first cup. And there we go. The pitfall is now basically in the ground, ready for use. Now, once you have your pitfall trap in the ground, now it's important to put the preservative in the cup, as well as give it a slight lining with some sort of oil that will prevent a lot of the bigger insects from crawling back out. You can use any sort of oil, grease. So it doesn't really matter what you want to use. Make sure you label the trap with any sort of details that you would like to put on that trap: site number, site location, date, time. And once you've got that, you can then put that back in to the sheath, and then it's just a matter of filling up maybe to a third of the way up into the cup with some preservative. You don't need too much, just enough to ensure that any insects that do fall in are covered by that preservative. Now again, just make sure that all the soil is now up around the edge of the pitfall trap, so that it's level with the surface and it's not too high. And basically you now have your pitfall trap in the ground, ready for use. So next up, we will be running through how to set up yellow sticky traps to survey flying insects such as wasps, moths flying beetles. So let's have a look now at how we do this. It's pretty. So this is a typical yellow sticky trap. You can buy these at any hardware store or nursery. They're fairly simple in design and concept. They're basically there to either. So the concept is fairly simple. You'll hang your yellow sticky trap up into the canopy of your crop, your tree or whatever you'd like to survey. It will sit there and basically trap insects as they're flying past or as they are attracted to the yellow card. And that's basic. So one thing to remember is every time you put a yellow sticky trap out into the field, you must correctly label that yellow sticky trap. This is essential as you will be actually IDing insects off this yellow sticky trap. It's very hard to get insects off. So the idea is that you'll be using a microscope or something to ID them on the card. So once you have your yellow sticky trap hanging in the canopy, you can just peel back the 2 bits of plastic, and once you've done that, your trap is ready to collect insects. So yellow sticky traps can be put into almost any canopy and are great to look at both pests and beneficial insects.